Hi, we just want to do a short video showing how we organize the stuff in the back of the van. And it kind of comes from lessons learned. One of our very first trips, longer trips of like a couple weeks, we had all the stuff, we packed it neatly in the back of the van, and we got the van to carry a lot of stuff with us, toys and camping gear and so forth. And what we found was after a few places we stopped, getting to basic things like camp chairs and things like that, or getting the bikes out was difficult because all the things got jumbled together and tangled up and so forth. So we needed a way to kind of organize the back of the van and kind of segregate some of the things. So that's what we're going to show you. So some of the stuff we typically carry that we need to keep in there all the time. So we have a couple camp chairs, the Nemo camp chairs, and then a couple full-size camp chairs. Blanket for alongside the van. It's kind of an indoor-outdoor blanket that's nice for keeping the inside of the van clean and keeping the dirt off the dog's feet. That's a shower mat. We have an outdoor shower that we store that mat in the back. A bike cover, and this is kind of our water stuff, a water hose, water filter for getting water in the van. So that's stuff we have to carry all the time. And then I've got kind of these two big bins here, and they're just representing things we would throw on. We actually use those. Our e-bikes are folding, so we actually use those to carry the e-bikes. They fold up and fit in those. So that kind of represents the space that two e-bikes stored in the back of the van would fill up. We also carry paddle boards, sometimes bikes in the van, biking equipment, running gear, so forth. So
dogs.
Also a dog, yes.
Dog beds.
And we need
dog food.
Yeah, so that's part of this too. We got to keep it organized. So we got two large Labradors, and so anyway, let's show you what we did inside the van to kind of segregate stuff. I guess it starts off with, we had taller loads like bikes, or if you put an e-bike in here not folded, you needed these lifts to be able to have the bed come down not all the way, so there's more room under the bed when you're in it. And when we camp, we put the bed down and we leave it. We don't raise it up and down to do anything back here. We use this just for storage of the toys and the gear. So these things also have storage. There's some stuff in here. I keep an air compressor, some tools, a few spare small parts, things like that. Extra bungee cords kind of stacked behind them. And on this side, we added these little bins that you can store kind of things when you're sleeping, your phone, bear mace, things like that you might want to have near at hand when you're in bed. So kind of how this all goes together is the way these bed bolsters / boxes attach. And they're just simple plywood boxes, 1/4 inch birch with some framing to hold them together. The way they attach to the van, there's 3 supports on the stock bed shelves, and you just drill into that, and you drill a hole large enough for a 1/4 inch by 20 nutsert. So riv nut is what they're called. And you put that in there, and then I just use finger nuts that screw into those to hold these on. So these are removable, fairly easily to remove. I didn't want to do them for the video because it's a hassle, because this all comes apart. So the next piece then is kind of segregating. We use this to kind of segregate that, use it in every campsite stuff from the gear we carry in the middle. And the way these attach, these are straps that we got from Amazon that are used to carry loads on the roofs of cars. So they have like on one end they have an eyelet that we put that bolt through into the rib nut through. And then on the other end I just have this is a plastic stick, but you could use a piece of dowel rod through a hole in the plywood that just holds that strap in place. And I just did it with all 3 of those. And then on the bottom, and actually on all through the cargo area of the van, I mounted this S-track, and that's in there with some number 8 wood screws. I think they're 1.5 inches long. That doesn't go through the metal in the van, but the plywood is pretty thick, so it holds pretty well. And that's the way Winnebago has a lot of stuff in here anyway. So unless you're carrying like a motorcycle or some very heavy load, you don't really need to through bolt into the metal, into the wood spine. So these then just hold by the top through those dowels into these straps, And then I just lace a bungee through some eyelets in the S-track on the bottom, and that kind of holds them in place. And like I said, that gives us 2 cavities where we can keep stuff that you're pulling out at every campsite separate from kind of your bicycles, dog bed, paddleboard, whatever in the middle. And it just makes it a lot better to be able to access things. And there it is, that's what it looks like. And we have some photos of actual loads that maybe if we can figure it out on the video, we'll stick in there. But that's how it fits in there. So we call this STOPS, Side Tied Organizational Plywood Solution, an acronym that Karen thought of. It's not trademarked, so you can use it. So we did want to name it though. So that's how it goes, and it just makes things tons easier. Because a lot of times you're getting the middle stuff out or not touching the side stuff. Always when you change campsites, you're getting in and out of this side stuff, and it just slides in and out of there real easy without snagging on any of the junk you got in the middle or bothering the dog bed. So